G'day everyone, it is once again Everyday Hero here with Yulwei, bringing
Hello.
you the second series of tonight for the VCS, GAM versus Cerberus. It should be a bit of an interesting match to watch. Obviously, two bottom of the table teams, not where I think most people would have expected GAM to be.
Yeah, hopefully not too much emphasis on the first three letters there. But we already see a big change in the lineup for GAM. What is happening today? They are playing two top laners and two mid laners in this game. So I don't know what to call Kiaya yet. He has played top lane so far, but he's listed as their mid laner. So now he's slotting into the mid lane role, and they have subbed out Minas again, their ADC. No idea what's going on there. So let's
I
see
like
what's.
the other thing we saw there was Yoshino's in the top,
Yeah,
which I really like.
yeah, I like that change too. I don't
I
quite
think
understand
he
what Hugh is doing there down in the bot lane. Maybe he wants to play a little bit of AP Nico down there.
yeah, that's very strange. I don't know what there is to say about that, just
It's
because
Gum, I guess. Gum just does
it's so
whatever they want.
strange.
And I
But
really like to see this picture because this is the lineup that
yeah,
looked so much better in the last game they played. They still lost the game, but they took low key it was, I think, to 47 minutes after absolutely getting annihilated in the first game. So this lineup looked way better than the players they played before, YT and Knight. So let's see how LL and Pot will play their second game in this season so far. Pot obviously a role swap to jungle, so now he has to deal with Levi on the opposite side. That's a very dangerous prospect to look at.
it certainly is. But I still think it's the right call from Cerberus. I'm happy to see that. Looking back over at Gum, just to focus in on Yoshino being in, I really like that. I think he's only played one game so far, and it was that ridiculous game Gum played where Levi played ADC.
Yeah, it was
And I
it
think
was where he was the dog in the burning house here. Where everything
yeah,
else
exactly.
was.
Exactly, but the thing is, he looked good. The
Yep,
team looked awful,
he played
but
Fiora
he
if I
looked good
remember
on top.
correctly.
Yeah, he did. He played Fiora and he won his lane, and it was good. So I'm happy he's being brought back in. I thought it was strange that he was just gone. Getting into the bans, Zaya removed. Second time today we've seen that ban. Still think it's interesting. I'm not sure. She's obviously very strong, but is she worth a ban?
I think
There's a
so.
lot of it.
I think so. I think Zaya is the strongest ADC. You should ban her away if you don't, especially on blue side, because she's not really a first pick champ, but a very good first rotation red side champ. So she is very prone to be banned on blue side. I think by good
Two
teams.
ADC banned. Both S tier ADCs taken out here by Gum.
Wait, are we still watching VCS? I'm really not sure looking at this pick and ban phase. This looks like
I mean,
actual 9.12 pick and ban.
um,
Never mind me. Never mind me.
cast the curse. It's like 9.12, he says, as Heimerdinger is banned.
So that's why Hugh
What?
is in, I guess.
That has to just be some crazy pocket pick that they know
Oh, I'm
about.
so now I want to see the Heimerdinger. Please make it happen in the game
Yeah,
too. I
like,
absolutely love Heimerdinger. It's one of my favorite champs. Oh
absolutely.
yay! Give me that Heimerdinger.
But, like, that's
This is a bot lane Nico,
either
by the way.
Cerberus is full trolling. Or it has to be something from scrims that they just
Yeah,
know is
I think they
dumb
know
play.
something we don't. I think this
You
is
leave
the bot lane
Nico
Heimerdinger.
open. But you leave Nico open and you ban Heimerdinger. It does get you Irelia, which is nice.
Yeah, but I
I think
think this.
Garmin played a bit of that last time, and I think he looked pretty bad on it, but bit of redemption.
Yeah, Hugh has played it 2 times already. Not his greatest games, but I think this is Hugh's Nico once again. This time in the bot lane. Nico is absolutely fine in every lane she plays. She's such a lane dominant champ. So yeah, give me that bot lane Nico. I like this first pick. Usually Nico first pick not too great, especially if Irelia is up. But this time I think that's a triple flex Nico can go a long way to win them the game.
Absolutely. And I
Wait,
think the double.
Sejuani is not even considered.
Oh wow, yeah, she's open and not been picked 3 picks in. That's
I did not
very
even
interesting.
look at the bans because usually Sejuani is just always banned, but this time she's Will she go unpicked through game phase one? That would be so ridiculous.
That would be incredibly rare, to say the least. I can understand to an extent. Gum probably doesn't really want her because do you want to put Levi on Sejuani?
I mean, we
Like,
just saw Son on Sejuani.
it, we did, but I think Thorn, obviously he is that super strong early game jungler, but I think Levi leans on his mechanics a little bit more. And as I say that, they picked Gragas. So they just picked Gragas over Sejuani. I don't get it.
Yep.
But maybe Yasuo's coming in. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, but then don't pick Gragas as last pick on the first rotation. If you want to... Wow, Sejuani might get unpicked or banned in this game.
Yep.
That's that's not something
That's
okay.
very odd.
Go ahead, VCS. Go ahead. Too early,
Yep.
more gank focused junglers compared to okay, Sejuani is still a gank focused jungler as well, but she can also be little bit of a farming, waiting for later jungler, which these two champs can't really do, especially Elise cannot. I really like the damage profile. Once again, I talk a lot about damage profile here. We saw the atrocious draft in the last game. This time they have AD, AP, AD, which is very nice for early ganks. No one can really itemize against those damage types. Mixed there.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. They ban out the Syndra, who we did see doing well in that last series. Still an interesting ban, though.
A lot of
There
Syndra
are some very
priority here.
there are a lot of very strong picks up, and they do
Yep.
ban the Yasuo
Yep.
out. Even great.
That's what I alluded to. Why would you pick up Gragas if you want Gragas Yasuo and don't pick up the Yasuo with him? That's such an obvious ban. That was not hard to call.
Yeah, but I mean, like the question is, was Garm ever gonna pick the Yasuo? We don't really know.
We have no idea.
Still a smart ban, regardless.
I mean, as a high Elo player that is touted for his mechanics, I think Yaya is probably has touched Yasuo a few times, top and mid lane as well, so just fitting his playstyle really well, I would guess.
I mean,
And it would.
Gragas Yasuo is not hard.
Also looking at Gum's already picked up champs. Look at this, it's all magic damage, so a mid laner with 80 damage would have been really good for them. And now they need a little bit of 80 damage, and I'm not too sure where it will come from. They might have to slot an AD. Oh, there is AD damage coming in. Not the greatest teamfight AD damage, though.
No, but they could just go for a more split push style. Kled?
Yeah, the go button.
Yeah.
The go button as a champion.
That is a go button right there. If that gets locked in.
Wow, Kled. I
love it.
I have to say, I don't know a lot about Kled, but I love to see him. I have no idea about his matchups. Sometimes he loses everything, sometimes he wins everything. It's really strange. Hard champion to read.
The thing about Kled is he's super. Like, he can be really hard to play around as a jungler because of the way his W works. For anyone who doesn't know, the way Kled's W works is if it's off cooldown and you hit something, it goes off.
Yeah.
So you can't
control it really. Yeah. It's
exactly. So your jungler really, if he wants to go top, you have to time it super well because generally, like your W is almost always on cooldown because you have to farm.
By the way, look at the bot lanes here. It's double AP against double AD. Interesting take. Do not see those types of bot lanes too often. Pyke and Asriel, a combination I'm not sure I've ever seen before. Doesn't strike me as that synergistic. And the first.
Quite the opposite.
And they lack magic damage in this team composition. If Pot does not get ahead, they have absolutely no magic damage.
Yeah, this is a very interesting draft. I'm not too sure why Pyke was picked. I feel like there were other supports that were open. I guess, like, Pyke is strong, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he really fits with an Ezreal. It's so strange. the sort of
And also
the interesting meta read.
picking Pike
We
into Nico Lux bot lane seems very dangerous. You don't have any semblance of lane control with Pike Esri against Nico with Lux. So this is really a gank setup. They want to snowball with kills on bot lane. I can't really imagine anything else going on there, because the lane itself will just be very hard to play. 2v2 will be
it,
not a great
what
time for either one.
what I find so interesting is we see this strange meta read that the VCS seems to have. There's just such a differing idea of what's priority and stuff between different teams. Kai'Sa was open.
Yep.
Kai'Sa Pike's a good lane. That's good all in there. That's strong.
Yeah, almost every other team
yeah,
would have gone for Kaiser there, but
yeah.
weirdly enough, this team does not go for the Kaiser. Has been played once by Isilaf, and Isilaf seems to go for a new champion every game, because this is his first Ezreal game, and he has not played Ezreal in this season so far. Split, I should say. I'm not quite sure about season. He has probably played a few Ezreal games in the spring split right now.
It's also a Predator Pike.
Wait. What am I seeing? What? Slay? Excuse me, Slay? What is this? Slay has gone for the tank support item. Relic Shield on Lux.
It's a Relic Shield.
Why?
That is.
Why?
Sorry, production. I'm just gonna confirm. Yep. Yeah, that is a Relic Shield. That's bonkers. I don't understand.
that's a Relic Shield, Lux.
That's a Relic Shield. I don't know.
Why? I guess he went like, okay, I practice a little bit of Lux. You pick Lux with Aftershock now, and every Aftershock support has to run Relic Shield, right? Yep, that has to be the case. That's right.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And then maybe he's just got like a saved item set because he normally plays tank support.
Oh my god.
No, I don't want to search spell thieves. It's too much typing.
Hey, look at this insane wave clear right now. Coming in. Yeah, he has already used one stack, so obviously very successful strategy there.
I mean, maybe it's just a hedge against Pike.
No, it's garbage. There's nothing to say. It's really, this cannot be justified. This is insane.
Look, give me a chance, all right?
Okay,
I'm trying to make excuses here for Slay. I agree. I think it's insane, but there's got to be a reason, right? The only reason I can think of is to hedge against Pike. There is no other reason to do it. Spell Thieves is better.
So you think he's scared of of Pike's damage, or why would he go?
Yeah, just to be a bit tankier. Like, look, I'm not saying it's correct. I'm saying I think his logic was.
Maybe. But
his logic might have been, I'm against a Pike. We're never going to kill this lane, so I'm not going to be using my spells that much to poke, because I'm just going to let my Nico wave clear. Speaking of which, all in the mid lane, which gets cut away from production.
Oh.
Hello.
And Slay is very good at last hitting. At least he got the cannon creep there, so good job. Kiaya?
Kiaya's gonna die. He's not gonna. He tried to get Skull back, but he didn't get it in time, and he just died.
Yeah, Yado's flash also very interesting there. Not sure Yado had to flash there. I think the Q was already off from Kiaya. Kiaya had flash available, so a little bit dangerous.
I hope there's a replay, because that was an egregious cut there by the observer. We went,
observers today are not. Yeah.
Like, I understand that there's a Relic Shield Lux, but that was an all-in by Kled, and that was literally one auto attack from going the other way.
The best part was they showed the beginning of the trade, but then okay, nothing's happening here. Let's go back to the Relic Shield Lux. Okay, nicely done.
Kled doesn't. Yeah, but the thing is it's like that looked a little bit silly by Kiaya, but he was literally one auto attack away from getting it. Because he gets one more auto attack, he gets Skull back, and
wow,
what a dive.
We finally get to see a good dive. That's a treat to watch after the first series. If you followed the first series, you know what we're talking about. That those dives there in the top lane were atrocious, but this was a very well executed dive. Did you see Yoshino's flash? He went in. Yeah, that was a very good flash from Yoshino there. Nicely done.
Yoshino, he wants to justify his re-inclusion in the lineup, and good.
Yeah. Yoshino's
As
in
I said, I
such a
think he'll
weird
play.
spot in this lineup. He's listed as the substitute top laner. He got subbed out for his listed mid laner. So, oh,
Double
never mind.
stun here as the jungler comes in. Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt you
Yeah,
because
yeah. Go ahead.
I think we have some people in some strife here. Easy Love might go down though. No, he just about survived. Slay,
Ooh.
can you wander away? There's
No,
no
Aftershock is
flag.
already procced. Oh, nice dodge
Yeah,
there.
dodge, really good dodge and binding. And that shield is pretty OP. Slay gets out. I don't think you want to turn it though, Slay.
Guys, you can press TP earlier. What
I
is
don't.
this?
That TP was so egregiously late.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no, that one was okay. That was Hugh. He had to respawn.
Okay,
That
I
was
guess.
top laner. That
I
was
guess.
Hugh. That one was okay. We can't blame him for having a respawn timer.
Yeah, sorry for that. But after the last series, I'm a little bit.
PTSD.
Yeah, that's PTSD for sure. Yeah, okay. Good job, Hugh, pressing that TP button just in time. Very nicely done. For some
They did
reason,
get a kill.
Elise got one more kill because Slay overextended. By the way,
Yeah,
why is every Lux using this skin?
I don't
Very
know.
annoying.
I like it.
Slay. Ooh, that was a very good flash from Ronopi. Wow, I did not spot the
Yeah,
flash there.
that was
And Pot
that
comes
was.
wandering in from the other side. Wow,
Ooh.
another interesting flash by Hugh.
Plays flash there straight to the cocoon.
Yeah,
No
and look
one
at
too.
this dodge. Nicely done by Slay. Gets
But
another
why does he
shield
come
off.
back?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
Your hell.
He has no mana as well, so
What are
Slay.
you going to
Slay
contribute? He
coming in
doesn't do
hot.
anything.
No,
He
he just gives
literally
up
did
his
nothing
life.
except get that binding.
He's just
He
dying
hit
there.
that binding, but the binding didn't matter. Oh, Ron in the mid lane sets up a kill, and that's Levi going down again. Kiaya popped his ult, but he's going to go down. Never mind, he flashes over the wall. The Predator won't be enough. I
Ooh.
tell a lie. Nope, he's dead.
Wow, two more kills for Cerberus, and Cerberus look really good in the early game right now, especially Pot.
Look at
Second game
Pot.
on stage,
Yeah,
and yeah, he's performing really well on this Elise. Yeah, I think there was a
you
little bit of an overextension for Kiaya and Levi involved, because, yeah, I'm not sure what
see the
Kled's ult
setup.
was doing there.
Well, I think it must have been a dive attempt, like just a really brazen
Probably,
straight
yeah.
up dive.
Good call.
I mean, because you can do that as Kled. Like, Kled is super good at that. But,
Oh no! I just thought about this and I can't believe my eyes. No, this can't be true. Slay, this can't. No, you cannot do this to
what?
me. My God.
Did he swap support?
Yes, he did. I just saw him come back to lane and was wondering why does he not have any stacks floating around him, and I thought, okay, I give him the benefit of the doubt. He's already used them, but nope. He has straight up swapped his support item back to Spell Thief's Edge.
I
I'm.
don't
Okay. Why? VCS, why?
understand. Truly, in the same way that Bronze League evolves the meta, so too does the VCS with.
Very true.
No, obviously that's not fair. VCS is actually pretty solid. I'm just teasing, but that is a very odd decision.
Yeah, that's a very euphemistic way of talking about this decision, because wow. At least stick to your plan. If you have a weird plan, stick
That
to it.
almost makes me actually think it's a misclick. I don't know how you misclick that, because I'm pretty sure Spell Thieves is the recommended item for that.
So it's either a misclick, or even worse, he realized it was a bad buy and swapped items. Although he already stacked maybe 300-400
Ooh,
gold. Wow.
damage.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tilted. Slay is playing this Lux very well. At least everything that is not centered around decision making is executed well. His mechanics are very good, and his skill shots hit. But I really don't understand what he's doing with his gold items, as well as his decision making in terms of walking back into the Elise that just pressed Q on him and was very happy to get another kill.
Pot here for the counter. This is really big. There's a lot of damage on LL, but Yoshino's just dead. As soon as they realized Elise was there, he knew his fate.
Yep,
That was well
very good
played
counter.
there by Pot.
Good counter game from Cerberus. Once again, Pot in the right spot, and now 5-1 on the Elise. What's up with VCS Elises, by the
Be
way?
careful here. Be careful here, Pot. There's a Kled in the mid lane. Charge can be called.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
One thing I do just want to briefly touch on, because I like Kled a lot. I've played quite a lot of Kled. This is a bad start for Kiaya, but the thing about Kled is you have to play on a knife's edge, because it's always you are one auto from winning,
Yeah.
or you die by one auto.
With the passive thingy,
so
yeah.
Close, so it's so difficult. But yeah, he's 0-2, and that's bad. But he could be 2-0. It's so close.
Yeah. Kiaya has made a few very aggressive decisions, especially the dive there that cost them 2 kills. And now Cerberus is actually almost a 2k gold lead, which is not what we expected from this matchup. Cerberus looking much better than last week. And we see that this lineup is maybe the stronger version of Cerberus. They waited 3 atrocious losses until subbing in Pot and LL, but LL and Pot performing very well. LL maybe not so much, getting dived there on the top lane, but he can't really do a whole lot about that. Especially Pot is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that dive, that was just so well played.
Slate. Slate channeling his inner illiquid 1-2. Oh, 1-1-2, I think. Yeah. That's skill shots.
I think did you see it's a bit off topic. With that, the Luxalt misses. Someone on Twitter deciphered the message that he was sending.
Oh, nice. What did he actually say?
They just photoshopped it together so it spelled out NA greater than EU.
Oh yeah, obviously.
out of all the missed Luxalt.
Oh man. Yep. Yeah, but Slay so far has played a way better game, say from his item choices, which were better on Liquid side. Something a pro player probably does not want to hear. He's still not sitting on the transformation, which is not too surprising, because he started his gold generation at, I don't know, 6-7 minutes. So
yeah, something like that. Probably even a little bit later than that. It was incredibly late. I mean, luckily for him, he's got 2 assists, which definitely helps out. Of course, he is up against the 4 assists of Pyke, and Pyke potentially gets a lot of gold because he takes kills.
Yeah, so far he has not taken any kills. So those are 4 honest assists on the Pyke side. It's not like he got more gold because the kill was stolen away from his ult. Ooh, wow, look at the damage from Slay.
So much. They just have to back off here.
Yep.
That was an interesting Ezreal ult.
A little bit late there.
Straight between the uprights. Ron bound up. Actually takes a lot of damage here. Flashing over the wall. Well played. I'm not sure what actually got Ron in the end there, but he did go down to Slay. Interesting dive from Yoshino. A little bit aggressive. LL takes a lot of damage, though. Kiaya dives in on this Kled.
This is a really good decision from GAM. Yoshino will go down, though.
Yeah, fantastic. Ooh, the double kill in the back for Yado.
Yeah, GAM gets back into the game off Slay's very great binding. So nicely done there.
Yeah.
And Hugh once again impresses with his Nico. He's seen some very good Nico performances. I think so far our best Nico player has been Hani, the top lane there for Loki. But another very good Nico once again out of Hugh. Flash over the wall.
VCS is very good.
Yep. TP will be in time. Yeah. That was very close. Good TP from Hugh.
Yeah, and I mean, this could be a turn here. That Bear Trap on a Rope doesn't complete its channel. For the record, one of the best spell names in the game.
Very, very nice name. That's I have to agree there.
It does what it says on the tin.
Yeah, it does not make much sense in the real world, I think. A bear trap on a rope is not something I imagine really existing, but I guess it works in League of Legends.
I don't think it would work. You could tie a rope to a bear trap.
Okay, yeah, good argument. Yeah.
had to think about a dive there on Yoshino, thought better of it, and just moved through the turret. Does pot. Not a bad decision there. I like that. There's no need to go for a dive where you're not certain that it's going to work
Yep.
out.
And that we saw something that the teams on the earlier series today were not capable of understanding. You can actually call off a dive. You can look for the dive play, and if you see it does not look like you can succeed in the dive, just call off the play. Yeah, nicely done. Server is showing
I like it.
Game is back to a very even state, which is very interesting for the mid game. What are we looking at in terms of team composition?
Uses that E to get a little bit forward. Ooh, I don't know if that's the direction you want to send that. I tell a lie.
Nice
That's pretty
snipe.
Oh, Kaya, again, he's just one auto away from getting Skull back.
Look at Pot's mechanics there. Nicely done.
Oh my god. But looking deep in, as I choked for a second, unfortunately. Pot.
Pot? No. Levi. Wow, it's continuing.
Exactly. This was a fight on two fronts, and overall, Gum has won most of them. Kia's Yoshino with the flash. Oh, well done. He gets the hook shot as well. He's going to be on top of LL. Observers, can we please see the actual fight?
Nope.
God. We don't care about Slay walking up a river. Jesus.
Observer's not doing too hot today. I'm not sure what's going on with the Observer client. Maybe they have actual problems there, but that's not the greatest observing. But to be fair to them, there was a lot of chaos all over the map.
Ooh, as well.
Slay gets caught. Ooh, he doesn't get his aftershock. This is a very easy kill. Maybe.
Yeah.
Ult.
There's the aftershock, but that's actually a really good stopwatch. He's dead anyway, but denying the pike kill is pretty important.
Yes, but he now does not have his stopwatch available for the team fight. Look at the snipe. Ooh, it's actually exactly at the frame where he channeled his ult. Very important kill for Slay. I did not catch the channel of the pike ult there, so it's even better than I thought it was. Nicely done by Slay.
Yeah,
teleport from Easy Love is not the greatest.
I want to know how does Hugh go down here? I didn't see.
No, I don't think so.
No, he does.
It's just Yoshino flashing over there.
Yeah, that's a long flash.
Wow, that's a very good flash, yeah.
Yeah.
And very confident as well. He knew that LL was around the corner, but he also knew that he probably had enough damage to burst down the edge with one rotation.
Ring the kill alarm, boys. Kai is going in. We've got another team fight here.
Levi's shrunk.
Yep, and Pot goes down. Just gets everything dumped on him, and he goes down.
Yeah, once Elise is rooted there, she can't use her repel anymore, and then it's a very, very easy kill.
Yeah, they got a big old shoe out and just get that spider out of the bathroom. Don't do that, though. If you're listening, don't kill spiders in your house. They're really good. They eat other bugs.
Wait, you're from Australia and you're telling us that you're not supposed to kill spiders?
Okay, I mean, if it's a deadly spider, that's a different question.
Okay.
But I've got a huntsman that lives in the corner of my office. He's like as big as my palm. He just eats other bugs. He doesn't care. He doesn't bother me.
Fair enough.
Don't kill spiders. Fun fact about that, they had to ban an episode of Peppa Pig in Australia. It's like Peppa Pig's a kid show. Like little kids. And because in that episode, Peppa makes friends with a spider. And like the lesson of the episode was like, oh, spiders aren't scary. They had to ban it in Australia.
Oh.
They didn't want that message. It's like, no, if you're a little kid and you can't recognize spiders, don't go near.
Yeah, don't make friends with spiders in Australia. Not the greatest call.
I mean, secondary fun fact, if we're just doing some Australia facts, it's been like 20 years since someone's died of a spider bite in Australia.
Really?
There's a stereotype.
That long? Oh, interesting.
The thing is because we've got deadly spiders, but every single hospital has anti-venom.
Oh, yeah.
So if you get bit, you just go straight to hospital and you're fine. It's really rare that people, like we die of other things. We die of spiders, and Ron O.P. dies of fat men.
Yeah, that was a solo kill from Levi, just sitting there and annihilating him. You have to be careful.
He's going really hard. He wins this, though. He gets the shield from his ult.
That was a very awkward 1v1.
Yeah, but I think it was really good. Hugh knew his exact limit, so that was really well played.
And Slay came to his rescue there as well. Another shield from Slay. I'm not sure. I think Hugh would have still won the 1v1, but for some reason he refused to auto attack for the last bit of damage.
Yeah, he also didn't pop his stopwatch. Sonya's, I should say. The stasis effect would have potentially dodged a fair bit of damage, but didn't use it.
By the way, I want to touch a little bit on Lux builds, because I've observed a little bit of priority today on the Luxes for the Athene's Unholy Grail, and I actually think it's a good item on Lux. It's a very good first item in general for supports, but in my opinion, Lux is even stronger if you go first item Ardent Sensor, because you could perma proc Ardent Sensor on all 5 members of your team. You might argue, okay, this is a game without an ADC, but there's still chance to really benefit from attack speed. Look at Yoshino there. He loves attack speed. Yeah, Kiaya attacks. Yeah, that's very strong on Kiaya as well. Hugh will use auto attacks as well, so he doesn't really need the attack speed, but the on-hit damage will still trigger. Yeah, I like Ardent Sensor better on Lux. I've seen a few Luxes go Ardent Sensor first, a few go Athene's first. Athene's is just a very strong item in the mid game, so I can understand why you want to go for Athene's. Athene's on Lux is not as great as Athene's on a champ with a heal, with a targeted heal, because you can't really direct your heal with a Lux shield. If you want to direct the heal,
yeah. I mean, I think Athene's is great. It doesn't it's not necessarily targeted heals. It could be targeted shields, like Karma, for example. I think
that's true. That's true as well.
Karma, yeah, the shield is targeted. But you make a really good point that since the shield is AOE and you want to hit as many people in a fight as possible, you potentially heal the wrong person.
Yeah, and
I actually think you make a good point. I don't think it's wrong.
No, it's definitely not wrong. It's still a very good item on her.
Yeah, there's definitely a debate there, and I think you make a really good point.
Yeah, I think in most team compositions, it's better to go Athene second. Also because Athene scales off mana regeneration. So if you go Ardens first, you actually get, I think, 20 extra AP from Athene's. So there's even more value in going Athene second. And I also think Lux likes to play a little bit more defensive in mid game. If she doesn't go for bindings, you often don't get the opportunity to stack up your Athenes. So yeah, I like the Ardent Sensor better, but it's not a wrong item. I want to emphasize again, this is still a good item choice for Slay. I just think it's not the most optimal choice.
Yeah, I think that's a good bit of analysis there. It's definitely interesting. Could just be Slay defaulting a little bit.
Did you see that?
Yeah. Walked up, threw some spells, and took a bunch of damage. And in the bot lane, observers really having a bad day because they missed a solo kill.
Once again.
Woo!
Look at Yoshino. Yoshino is actually popping off in this game. He's quietly assembled a 400 gold, 450 gold now.
Do we have a
replay? No, it's not important enough to show on a replay. Clearly, watching Ezreal clear minions is more interesting.
Observing is hard. I'm not going to for a minute say that observing's easy. It's not. But come on.
Also, did you see the cut away from the split push to Kiaya clearing minions under his turret? Why? Why? What's going on with the observation here? Not too sure. And they refuse to show us the solo kill. Maybe they have a contract with LL. He can't ever be shown being solo killed on screen. So.
Yeah, exactly. Cut the stream.
Yeah, this is a big problem now for servers. We'll finally go.
This was just LL being too far forward. He thinks he wins the 1v1.
Oh,
really nice dodge. Yeah, LL, you just got absolutely schooled.
Yep. He did not hit E, he did not hit ult, and Yoshino hit both his E and ult. Interestingly, it's the same spells that are actually relevant to the 1v1. Yeah, it's pretty much... Oh, interesting choice there by Hugh.
Yeah, and he could get punished for this here. I don't think that clone's...
Whoa!
Oh my god! Yoshino in the back line does meet his fate, but it's going to be a good trade in the end there. Three
And
for
Slay
one,
with
make
his
that four.
frontline
Zaya's going to
Lux.
go down. There's a lot of golden people here. Anyone going to go down in the fray? Nope. And that's Baron, I think.
They are pretty low, but they have Lux Shield, so Lux Shield is helping a lot with Baron. Hugh wants to teleport back in, so that's very good as well. Well, did you see frontline Lux there from Slay? I really love how Slay is playing out this game. He has been a little bit disappointing on his Nautilus so far. I think he underperformed in the week 1, but today he's looking so much better on the Lux. His item choices could still be better, but yeah, all the play is good. Frontlining Lux there with Aftershock and soaking a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so much damage there. Also, like, interesting synergy with the Camille ult and the Gragas ult, where you layer them, but you don't actually knock
There was
the
so much damage there. And look at this very awkward positioning from everyone. So they see an opportunity on Hugh. Where does it actually come in? I think Isulaf sees this. Oh yeah, Levi backs off.
Yeah.
So Ron OP, Yado, and Isulaf have the first access to Hugh.
Yep,
Hugh with a very good stopwatch.
Yeah, and then they're just too far forward.
Look at the damage from Levi now. Bam! That was some 80 Gragas coming in there. Oh man. And Yado almost turning around the one before. Very good stopwatches from Kiaya and Levi to not die to Yado's AoE damage on Q.
Yeah, and I think it looked a bit weird when we first saw it because we didn't quite see the lead up to play. I think Hugh played that really well, just stopwatching and hitting his ult so no one could go near him. Easy love.
Another good binding by Slay. Slay is really good on the Lux. This Lux performance has been very solid.
When the binding's coming from that far away, you're playing Ezreal.
Yeah, you have to be able to dodge that, especially on such a low ping.
It's not exactly like you're playing on land. Like Slay's playing really, really well, but it's still a straight line skill shot that doesn't do.
Yeah, I have to agree. Yeah. You should definitely be able to dodge that. And Easylove has not had the best of games. Look at his scoreline: 0, 5, and 3. Yeah.
I like his build though.
Yeah, I really like this. He has the best Ezreal build. Sadly, he's a bit behind in items. Should have this third item already complete. Look at Yoshino's damage.
LL's engaging here. He's doing it because he has his team coming in, but I don't think he wins Yoshino. Yeah, Yoshino's playing so well. He does go down there to the pike ult, but
pulling so much pressure over to us.
Or Yado's taking so much. I don't think they're going to be able to get his GA here. They actually need to really get out of town. Slay's going to go down.
Yeah, and
Levi belly charged in. Ooh, don't know about that one.
Ronopi's ult is still now it's on cooldown, so they can't contest Kiaya on top lane. What is up with Kiaya's health bar? I hate that. Oh my god.
What do you mean? What's wrong with the health bar?
It looks so weird. It looks so weird.
Look, Skull is an immortal dinosaur.
Okay. But
that's actually the law for the record.
A very shy one, right? He runs away all the time.
Yeah,
it's a
he's
coward.
A coward. Yeah. That's literally the law. I love Kled. It's one of my favorite games. Flavor is great.
But you have to turn off quotes if you play Kled, because that shit will kill you.
You gotta turn them up.
Oh my!
Turn them up. Are you kidding?
It's almost as annoying as Galio. Have you ever played Galio after his rework? His quotes are so annoying. I can't deal with Galio's quotes. It's.
Speaking of quotes, League of Legends will never actually recover from the 9.12 patch, where the greatest voice line in the game no longer exists. You only need to click once full. Has been removed from the game.
It has been removed? I did not even catch that. Oh my god.
Yeah. They're slowly removing all of the voice lines that address summoners. So like Akali doesn't have her so many noobs. Will matchmaking ever find true balance? Like that got taken out with the rework.
Oh, that's so sad. Sona still talks to you, right?
She still has her. Yeah, she still does, but they've already said that when she gets an update eventually, like it's not in the works or anything, but she will eventually get one.
Oh, why is that happening? Okay, interesting policy.
because if you follow the League of Legends lore, pushes glasses up nose, summoners don't exist. Summoners don't exist anymore. They got retconned.
Oh, that's
There's no summoners. So they
unlucky.
don't talk. Yeah, it used to be the Institute of War and summoners summoning champions. Now it's just the champions all exist and Summoner's Rift isn't actually a thing. It's just, that's the game, but the lore is separate.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a little bit sad, but I guess if they
Yeah,
want to
I mean,
have a consistent lore, it's okay. It's okay with me.
it's hard. But yeah, I mean, I don't think their writing's very good anyway. Just quietly, have you read Kiana's lore?
No, I have not.
Wouldn't bother, it's really bad.
I don't care about lore at all, I have to say.
I don't care about it. Okay, as Yoshino actually going really big here as we talk about the most irrelevant thing possible. Oh my god, there's a
Oh,
game
Hugh! Wow, that was really well
What a
played.
play. This is really, really good. Also, that inhibitor tower went down. When that happened?
Tiaya split pushed on the top lane where everyone else was dying in bot lane.
Yeah, no, I remember now. They're trying to get this in him here. LL looks for the engage, but can't find it.
Oh, yeah, that was
takes a lot of damage. Kiaya takes a ridiculous amount. Oh, Kiaya's alive!
He's fine, he's alive. Everything is well.
He just needs to hit something as well. He just needs to go find something to hit, and he'll get like most of his health bar back.
Slay once again. Wow, Slay is carrying this. Wow, Slay with so many great skill shots.
Yeah, Slay is playing a very, very good Lux game.
Yeah, imagine he actually knew what Lux support is supposed to do in lane. He would be a very good Lux support.
I mean, I think he knows what to do when he's in lane. It's when he's in base.
Yeah, okay, yeah, very good argument there. It's a big issue when he actually has to shop.
Oh, Hugh, that was not the right person to do that to. Pot just, okay, Hugh, bye.
Pot, I would guess Pot was very surprised there. So surprised he almost forgot that he had the free escape there, but then he found
it's like
his
it's like with back in the day when you were walking towards a bush like, why am I slowed? Oh god.
Oh god. Worst feeling ever.
Full AP Noonan. That's a really good Lux ult as well across the entire team. LL goes down again. Yoshino just has his number this game. Yoshino charging forward as well. He's got no fear.
Oh no, Ronopi.
Oh god. Levi coming in uses the charge to be the fastest fat bloke ever. And that's
to come back to the game a little bit after we dwelled on a lot of points that had nothing to do with this game because nothing really happened there. GAM just slowly won the game. We have to commend GAM for this game. It's so much of a step up. There's so much of a better performance, especially after falling behind in the early game. Last week they showed that they were capable of playing a very good early game. This time they actually show a little bit of mid-game prowess, especially compared to Cerberus, which fair enough, might not mean too much, but Cerberus also looked a little bit better. Strong performance out of GAM, and they will finish the game in 32 minutes. Nice first game. The first win of the whole season for Levi. Finally in.
Yeah, finally. He gets on the board. I think to your point, yes, Cerberus is a weak opponent, but it doesn't really matter who you're playing against. What we wanted to see out of GAM was, do you have a plan to execute in the mid-game?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, it's very easy to execute it against Cerberus, but the fact that they had a plan at all is a huge step up, and that's great. That's exactly what we want to see out of them. They played really well. I like this team comp that they've got. I think Hugh in the bot lane is interesting. I want to know if he can play more standard ADC.
I think this was a one-off. I think that actually this is just one Niku game, and now they're subbing in Minas again. I don't think Hugh can play anything else. But why not? Why not use him for one off game to get an advantage in this very important best of 3? I like the strategy. I like how he played. He was good in lane. He was very good in later stages of the game. So, yeah, nicely done.
Yep.
Well constructed victory.
Yeah, I think that was really, really good from GAM. It's exactly what we want to see out of them finally.
Yeah, and Cerberus, not too sure what to think about Cerberus in this game. They looked a little bit better, in my opinion, but they still had a lot of problems in mid-game, and they seemed very lost. Bot lane also went horribly wrong. There were so many mistakes out of both of the bot lane players. They got outperformed by Slay and Hugh, who's not even a bot laner, so not the greatest look.
Not what you
Especially,
want.
yeah,
Yeah, I absolutely think Cerberus looked better, but like that's not
not good
saying
enough. Yeah, it's still not good enough. They need to improve more.
yeah.
It's a little bit of a step in the right direction, so
It's good to see.
it's good to
Like
see. I don't
yeah,
really think it's enough to beat GAM today if they don't step up even more, or GAM makes silly mistakes and goes back to last week's performance. The
yeah.
first game looked like it was pretty heavily in control for GAM, and I don't really think GAM should lose the next game, but we'll have to see. Do you have a
That we
clear
will.
favorite for MVP in this game? It's actually not too easy to
I
decide
think
for me.
Slay personally. I think he played really well.
Slay was very good, yeah. The Yoshino as
It's
well. Yoshino had a great performance, solo killing his lane opponent.
yeah. I mean, overall, I think you could give it to several members of GAM, like Levi as well. Had a
Yeah,
ridiculous game.
Levi had
Um,
great. I would guess Levi gets the official MVP because of his stat line, because he had an insane stat line
Probably.
there. I actually think Levi
But yeah,
didn't have the greatest game impact in the early game. He got a lot of kills and dealt a lot of damage. I think it's more on Slay and Yoshino this time.
I agree. And I think Yoshino made one or two mistakes where he was just a bit overextended.
Yep.
Still a cracker of a game, but just the
Yeah,
one or two
all of
mistakes that
GAM's
I think got
players
him to play.
played pretty well. I think Kiaya not so much. Kiaya was a little bit of a weak link in this game.
Yeah, but again, like that's the thing with Kled. You have those knife edge plays in the
Yeah,
early game.
as we talked about
If they
earlier.
go wrong, you're a bot. If they go right, you just carry. And they went wrong for this game. Probably don't pick it. Don't pick it again. I think it was a once-off surprise pick. You don't need to do it again.
So we're looking us down for Slay there on his aftershock.
You're happy to.
Yeah. I think obviously he made the big mistake in the early game buying the wrong item, but his play was good. He never looked
Yep.
bad on the Lux other than buying the wrong item, which I mean it's a mistake and it's not something we should see from pro players, but it's not actually you should not take away from their MVP if they uh, do this kind of silly mistake because their play and mechanics actually look good, setup as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think Slay
Okay.
is deserving of MVP in this game.
Yep.
So we'll hit a little bit of a break for 4 minutes and then see if GAM can cleanly close out the series. Excuse me, or if Cerberus have something to say about this.
Anyway,
Welcome back to game 2 between GAM and Cerberus. We just saw GAM actually win their first game of the season, 0-4 last week, and they start off with a very good 1-0 over Cerberus. It looked like they were the better team throughout almost all stages of the game, actually falling behind 2k gold though in the first 10 minutes, so a little bit of a weaker showing in the early game. Their mid game looked so much better than last week though. What can we expect from game 2
yeah.
every day? What do you think?
I mean, you've got to find an answer for so many different things here. I think Levi picking up that MVP, I think we predicted that, considering he had 10 kills.
A 10 to 10 scoreline. That's very obvious. The choice for the official broadcast. They always go by scoreline. 10 to 10.
I mean, to be fair, he did have a monstrous performance.
He had a very good game. He had a good game.
But to go back to what we can expect from game 2, I don't think you can do much about Levi popping off like that in terms of before the game. You can't do a lot. You just have to not die. And I know that's like a ridiculous thing to say, but it's kind of true. He should never have 10 kills because he shouldn't really die 10 times.
Kiaya's still in. This is Kiaya. So what's the lineup actually? What will the lineup look like in the game 2? Is this minus? Minus? I'm not. I have to say I'm still not too familiar with all the faces. I know a lot of the players, but especially the sub players, I did not see too much in the last season. I can still not discern. So I think this is Yoshino. So we might look at the same lineup for game 2. We have not received any confirmation yet. Will we see Heimerdinger? Yeah. I think this is the most interesting question heading into game 2.
Well, you've got a choice. Like, you know that you have to ban. Like, you have to ban Nico, I think.
Yeah.
If Hugh is in.
But
assuming he's in. You have to ban the Nico. But can you also ban the Heimerdinger? Like, it's 2 bans.
Now, they're on blue side. They don't have to ban the Ultra OPs.
No, they don't. I mean, I want to see this Heimerdinger pick. I think that'd be hype. That'd be super hype. I love a Heimerdinger.
Yeah, I love Heimerdinger as well. But by the way, if you have watched a lot of 9.12, I will surprise you with the next statement. Sejuani went unpicked, unbanned in the last game. I'm not sure what to make of that, but yeah, we didn't see a Sejuani.
It's absolute blasphemy.
I mean, Sejuani is actually not too boring to watch, I think. Even though she's considered a tank jungler, she still ganks a lot, and there are many teamfights happening around her. So, yep, I think, yeah, sometimes it's nice to have a little bit of rest on certain champs, because Sejuani's just picked almost every game or banned.
Yeah, I mean, it is good to see other things being played.
Oh, YT is in.
I don't like that.
No, I mean, LL lost lane pretty hard and got solo kills. The really big performer for Cerberus this game was Pot, so I'm very glad that Pot is still in, hopefully. I think so.
Pot has very distinct hair, so if he's there, we'll be able to tell.
Yeah, and Pot has had 2 performances as a jungler this season. Split. I'm sorry, I always say season. I mean split, obviously, the summer split. And both games have looked very good. He was not able to lock down a win so far, but Cerberus is 0-5, so it's not his fault alone. Very good Elise game in the last one. I think he went up like 6-1 or 5-1. For some reason, all the Elises always pop off in the VCS.
Well, I mean, I think it's just because Elise synergizes with the VCS meta. Yeah. The VCS love to go hard from minute 1. And Elise, yum, I'll fight you from level 2.
Yeah, very true.
I think that's just why. It doesn't surprise me that much. But really hope Pot is still in. I haven't seen him in a chair, but it's probably they just haven't shown it.
Yeah, I think there's absolutely no reason to sub him out after the last game.
You sub Knight's played so badly.
Yeah.
I don't even like subbing out LL. I think LL is still.
I agree. And LL didn't have the best game, but YT last week looked really lost. So just give LL one more chance. What can you really lose here? You're already 1 game down. YT coming in will probably not change a whole lot in the top lane. So yeah, just give
Yeah.
LL another game. See if he can actually hold up to
Almost,
Yoshino.
it
What's
almost feels like it's just tilt subs.
yeah
Okay, pot's in. That's pot.
yeah that's what.
Good. They just had to show every chair. Fine. Good. I'm glad about that. I think don't just say, "Oh, we lost, so let's bring in subs." Like you actually need to look at why you lost. I
Yeah.
don't think it was because of LL, but he has been subbed out. But it definitely wasn't pot. So do not sub him.
And we have to talk a little bit about the man who was on picture right there, Ron OP, coming over from EVOS. He has had a very successful spring split with EVOS, finishing second, just behind the Buffaloes. And now he has come over to Cerberus. I'm not too sure about the intricacies about the change. Maybe he got forced out of EVOS. Maybe he wanted to leave. I sadly don't know. So chat, if you are aware, you can tell us. But yeah, he's starting with on Cerberus' roster, and he so far has not looked great. Not only has his team held him back, he himself has not played the greatest of splits so far, getting caught out a
Absolutely.
lot on all the champs he has played, especially Nautilus and now on the Pike as well. 0-5 or 0-6 in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, I think he got like one kill at some
At
point
the
near
end,
the
yeah,
end.
possible.
It was a pretty uninspiring. He hit a lot of hooks, and I think he had that one really good flash
Yeah,
on.
Flash E extension, that's true.
Yeah, like he had a couple of good plays, but overall it wasn't a particularly inspiring play. I mean, we do see Hugh is still in.
Yeah,
That's two bans drawn potentially. That's just two bans potentially. Nico's got to get banned, and
this is a
Jesus has to
Sejuani
get
setup.
gone.
This is already Sejuani setup with the Karthus ban.
Yeah, but like, if you're Cerberus, like, do you leave Hugh's picks up? A
Do you
really hard
actually
call,
leave Nico open and try to first pick her is the real question here, I think.
maybe. But what do you give up then?
Oh, I would
They
like to
could,
see Gam go. Don't not. Oh yeah, they ban the Nico. That's a good call for Cerberus. I just wanted to say I would like to see Gam leaving open Nico and Sejuani and taking whatever they like of the two.
yeah, that's a good call. Elise banned out as well. That's a good call, I think. Taking that away from Pot, force him to play something else. He looked really good in game one. Um,
Aatrox is still
did,
open, as is Aurelia.
so far, yeah. I mean, now Cerberus, are you going to ban that Heimerdinger again? That's obviously a pocket pick they've seen. It makes sense as well with Hugh playing. He could have
Yes, it
you know,
doesn't really make sense to drop the ban here. They
Karma has to
have
get
to.
banned as
Oh.
well. Karma has to get banned. Now Aatrox or Irelia will be open. Do we see Heimerdinger picked? I'd love to.
Yeah, I mean, if Hugh's champion pool is Heimerdinger and Nico, why would you not? And this is already indicating a little bit of Heimerdinger as well. Sivir with the spell shield can throw out a lot of the things that Heimerdinger wants to do. I kind of think we are in for Aurelia Heimerdinger in this rotation.
Yep, it would make sense. I mean, they did ban Xayah Sivir game one as well. I
Yeah,
mean, if
that's
you're
true.
if your bot laner isn't going to play ADCs, just ban the Estet. I also think it's very smart to pick up this Lux
Yeah, Slay
for
looked
Slay.
super great
Really
on the
good game.
first.
You don't necessarily have to pick Heimerdinger here. What are Cerberus going to do? Pick it away?
Yeah, that's very true. This
Pick
is a
it in.
strong setup as well. I don't really like the Renekton or the Lux this early. One of the two, I think, could be delayed to the next pick phase. Maybe the Renekton, because there's already a top laner picked up for Cerberus. So a secure Lux and a strong jungler in this rotation, I think, would be my call.
I agree.
There's still no Sejuani picked up in this matchup. Both teams seem to really not prioritize the Sejuani that highly, which is very surprising.
Yeah, and I mean Rek'Sai being picked up for Cerberus. I
Please
like
explain
that.
the Karthus ban to me then, Cerberus. What is the Karthus ban doing for you if you're not going for Sejuani? Why would you ban out Karthus if you want to play Rek'Sai? Rek'Sai shits on Karthus.
I
That's,
don't know.
yeah. Another head scratcher of a pick and ban strategy. I think we saw a lot of that. Oh, yeah, that's the favorite champ, obviously, of this VCS.
I feel like if we're going to see the Heimerdinger, it has to be big because we get banned.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. There it is. Havert still not locked in.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes. We get to see a
Get to
Heimerdinger
see
game.
a Heimerdinger. Get your
Oh
dongs
yeah.
going because it's about to be the dong da dong dong dong.
Oh.
I I can't wait. I love it. This
Oh
is
yeah, Heimerdinger.
so strange.
Heimerdinger Lux. Oh, the enemy bot lane is in for a world of hurt. Oh my god, that's
I
a
mean, like
scary bot lane.
easy love. Easy love must be turning around like sub me, please.
Yeah.
Don't I really don't want to play this.
Wait a moment. You can play this game. Just go bot lane. There's nothing you can do anyway.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter. You're not an ADC player. It's Heimerdinger Lux.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Hey, Yado, those are mid lane champions. Swap. Yeah, you play mid laner.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Traditionally, I actually kind of an expert on Heimerdinger bot lane because I have played him quite a bit, and
I
Heimerdinger
mean,
usually
hate to say,
needs a few levels to really get rolling. Lux will probably bridge this power trough a little bit for the Heimerdinger because she's very strong in the early game. But yeah, he needs level 5, level 6 to really come online, and then he can dominate lane, especially after the first back when he picks up his first mana item and can spam all his turrets and rockets. If you get to see a little bit of botlane action, I can dive a little bit deeper into Heimerdinger mechanics, intricacies about turret and rocket
mechanics.
combination. Yeah, there are a few things you can do with Heimerdinger.
No. I'm laughing because he's a mechanic.
Yeah, that's true.
I know he's actually got mechanic. I don't think Heimerdinger is particularly easy. He's actually got a lot to it.
I think he's easy for players who like to play a certain playstyle. He's a very reactive and defensive champ, which is how I play a lot of times, which is not the greatest if you want to climb actually, but yeah, Heimerdinger fits a very defensive playstyle, and I'd like to see them play around pushing and trying to
Oh,
absorb
don't
ganks.
pick Rom. You can't pick a melee support into this.
This is full team
Surely.
fight. This is full team fight mode for servers. They have abandoned all the lanes.
Kent?
Kench is a little bit better because Kench can. Oh god, no, you're not going Tarek. You're actually inting. This is impossible to play. Okay, this is a little bit better.
I think Braum was actually the best hover there, because at least Braum can
I think
counter.
Kench probably is the best hover out of those because Kench
Maybe.
can eat the turrets and
That's
kill them
true.
very quickly.
He eat the ult turret?
Oh, I'm not
That'd be
sure about that. But ult turret is not used too often anymore. Heimerdinger does not like to use ult turret anymore. It's in very specific situations where you use the ult turret. Got nerfed quite heavily after ult turret was the best ult evolution. Another Camille game. I think that's expected at this point because Camille seems to be very favored for Yoshino. But now we have Kiaya on another top lane champ. So Kiaya refuses to play actual mid lane champions.
Yeah, it's interesting there. Would like to see him on an actual mid laner, considering you have a mid laner on your team currently. Just
No,
playing
he's
Heimerdinger
busy
bot.
playing bot lane, and your bot lane is sitting at the sidelines. It's like, why exactly am I not playing this game? That's Gam's management is yeah, there has to be a little bit of
I feel like
goofballs there.
they must I think they must, because Levi must just like get up. They get up in the morning before a match, and Levi is just already in the Gum living room, like, now fight for your spots. And it's whoever's the four left standing after a Royal Rumble takes it.
Yeah, something like that
But he
has to be on. Or maybe it's Zeros. Zeros is sitting behind them, can't play.
yeah,
He's very angry, sitting in his chair and judging every misplay. And whenever his brother Minus makes a misplay, he's telling him, "Okay, you're not playing today. That's another game you're not playing. I'm sorry. That's another misplay on ADC." Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Gum. It's very
I mean,
confusing. They're winning
it
games
worked
now, at
pretty well.
least one game at least.
They won a game. They're winning game. Also, we were so busy talking about the Heimerdinger. Sejuani did get picked up this
Yes,
game.
as
Levi is on stage.
Levi Sejuani.
I mean,
Not
she's
a champ
strong.
you would associate with Levi, but I expect him to perform on the Sejuani as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Levi, he won't be able to be as explosive mechanically on Sejuani, but she is just so ridiculously strong.
Yeah, and you can make good mechanical plays on Sejuani as well. We just saw Son in the first series of today hit every ultimate with very good Q, shortening the ult channel as well. So there are some mechanics you can still kind of exploit. It's not like you're playing Nunu or Udyr. There's still a little bit of things you can
Well,
exploit.
you have kicked a hornet's nest by saying Udyr doesn't require mechanics.
I'm very sorry. What mechanics does
Udyr,
Udyr require?
Udyr mains are a proud race.
I mean,
I
he's not. I don't say he's an easy champ. He's like Master Yi. He's very how do you say it? It's very decision making and map and power level awareness champ. You have to always know how strong you are, how fast you can push, which ones you can take. But there are no
agree.
mechanics. I'm sorry, there are no mechanics. Like what mechanics does Udyr have? It's E, a flash E. That's everything you can do, and that's not even a hard mechanic. Everyone
Have
on
to new form? Excuse me.
yeah. So many different things you can channel there. So many.
Udyr is getting a pretty big buff. I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a huge buff. It's nice next
it's a
patch.
late game buff. I don't think it
Yeah.
will impact competitive at all, but I think it's
No.
nice for Udyr mains.
Yeah. I think it identified a pretty big problem with Udyr is that putting points in Phoenix late game uh, feels pretty bad.
Yeah. By the way, what do you think of the mid lane matchup? Because I think we kind of missed this intriguing quirk of the
Yeah.
draft for GAM. Because usually you want to slot your Renekton into a winning lane. They had the
Yeah, he's
winning
not.
matchup in the top lane, and now they actually sent him into a ranged matchup that's very hard to play for him. This is not a winning lane for Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be really difficult for him. He's going to lose this lane. It's melee versus ranged, and Corki just should never ever get engaged on. Just Valkyrie away. Yep. You see the E, use the Valkyrie.
It's not a lane he can win in the mid lane. He has no access to the Corki can just freely do whatever he wants. By the way, this time Slay actually picks up the right item. I'm very proud of you, Slay.
I still don't. I'd love to know what. I don't because I don't know how you buy the wrong item there. Like, how did you get to relic ship
Yeah,
in
that's a
the item?
really good question. I want to know the answer to that question as well. Maybe someone can inform us after the cast today, if he gets interviewed or anything, and we get to know what Slay actually thought with his item choice
Yeah,
there. This is
I'd
not a
love to know.
great lane to play. As you can see, Isolaf and Ronopi are struggling a lot. Heimerdinger actually not the greatest CSer in the early game. There is a lot of RNG involved with his turrets. The damage from the turrets in the early game is very weak as well. Oh,
Ooh, pot going in takes a lot of headbutt.
Ronopi. Okay, yeah, the
Oh.
turret is now on the other side. Very assertive play.
Yeah, I mean that turret knows his boss.
And they're not successful in pushing off pot. They almost succeeded there. Sadly for them, it's not like they have the greatest follow-up at the chase on Rek'Sai. They got a lot of initial CC on him and a lot of damage as well. But after the first kind of effects abated there, especially the Q from Lux, there's nothing they could really do about the Rek'Sai just taking the Scuttle Crab under their noses with Smite available as well. Good
Ooh, this
attempt.
dive though.
Oh god, Kiaya. Very, very close. Flash for
Very close,
flash.
both sides.
And very good trade for Yado actually, because he is now flashless, but flashless Renekton on the other side as well. And you can't really do a whole lot against Renekton flash. It's not like you can predict the flash auto attack there. A little bit like the Udyr bear slap we talked about earlier. But yeah, now he is very safe in lane. He has TP, so he can TP back to lane, has lane priority. We see he has already built a little bit of a CS lead as well. So in the end, the dive actually backfires for GAM, and Kiaya a little bit behind in terms of playmaking.
Yeah, that's very true. I think if we really want to see this Renekton pick working out, I think it has to move to other lanes. Um, Corki's just so hard to kill. Obviously,
Yeah.
they did get close there. That was a pretty well constructed dive. Um, I still don't fully understand. I mean, it was a Corki counter pick.
Yeah, but they knew where the Corki was going. They had the
Yeah,
Renekton already picked and opted to go for another top lane pick and slot the Renekton into the Corki. They fully knew that the Corki was going mid. This is not like the Corki was counter picked into a double melee setup
yeah,
already picked up. So
true.
we really have to
It's
question
very
this very weird decision by GAM. I think this Renekton is still a strong champ in the mid game, obviously, even if he's not ahead or did not get any kills. But after the mid game, this will fall off heavily. Oh, Yoshini has
Ooh,
ult.
this is going to be a bit tight. The Yado's here as well. But Yoshino just hook shots to safety. There's a lot committed here for not a huge
Yeah,
amount
very good
gained.
cover from
Maybe
Levi.
it's turret play.
I think
That's about
if
it.
Levi was not pathing upwards, that was a sure death from Yoshino, but very good coverage from Levi. He still stays, so Yoshino can safely TP back. Nicely done by the jungler. More of a defensive play, not something we would associate with Levi, but he shows that he's a lot of awareness about general jungle gameplay as well, not only ganking and dominating lane through early game, the game.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. It's another string in his bow, which is what we want to see. Like a lot of people are expecting Levi to be, a superstar jungler for the VCS.
Yeah, be a Lee Sin one trick as well.
People just want to see him on this. Ooh,
Oh,
this is a really aggressive play. The flash to make sure that hits. Ooh, YT, mate, you're going to wish you were still on the bench because first blood, straight to Levi.
that's
Down you
very
go, mate.
harsh. That's very harsh.
Oh, no, no, I'm not saying we wish he was on the bench. I'm saying he wishes he was still on
Yeah,
the
fair
bench.
enough.
Not
Yeah,
saying
not
he's
a
a
whole
bad
lot he
player.
can do about that play. It's Yoshino flash extension once again going for the proactive play. We like to see them going for proactive flashes. That's season 9 League of Legends right there. Very good follow up by
Yep.
Levi once again. Not even level 6 yet, I think, in the play, right? Yeah, you
I
only
think
hit the
he
E
hit
stun.
level 6.
Oh no,
Yeah.
he used his ultimate. I'm sorry, he used his ultimate there. So double ult committed. Well, they locked on the
Yeah.
kill. Sadly, it does not go over to Yoshino. They would have liked to accelerate the top lane matchup. But yeah,
Yeah, no, that
Yoshino is
is a
still
shame.
ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, something interesting to point out is that Kaiser's really staying in this bot lane. She's actually even on CS at the moment. Part of that is because, as you said,
Yeah, Heimerdinger
Heimerdinger
is
is
not great at CSing. He's really not great at
going.
CSing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you picked this lane. Like, surely you want to be stonewalling the enemy. So far that's not happening. But as you said, he still needs a few.
Yeah, I don't really like how they play out this lane. They play a lot of non-committal pushing here. They don't really go for trades a whole lot, and they have a very strong trade setup with Heimerdinger and Slay on the Lux. I would like to see them go for a little bit more of a freeze, try to bait them in for more trades, because this way the whole time Kaiser can just safely farm under the turret. And against an Alistar, you can't really commit to a turret plating. That's one of the very good advantages of picking Alistar. He can always look for flash Q into W engages under the turret. Yeah, I don't like how GAM plays out this lane so far. It's a little bit it's a little bit counterintuitive to what they actually picked up here. I think if they want to play this passively, they could just send the Lux on roams, which yeah, it's Lux. Lux is not the greatest roaming support. Mm. And look at Easy Love's
Yeah,
item build.
that's pretty interesting already.
You will be a
That's
very
going to
happy
be.
man today.
I've just looked down. I was wearing a nice grey jumper, and it suddenly got a Cerberus logo on it. I think I'm a Cerberus fan now because the
Yeah.
Kaiser's.
Yeah, that's the first Muramana Kaiser. I'm so happy to finally see this one. Um, Interestingly enough, this Muramana Kaiser is actually going fleet footwork, which
Yeah, I
is
mean,
more than a lot of our other Kaisers were doing.
yeah, exactly. Come on. Can't I just have one time where you get a Muramana, press the attack?
Nope.
No,
No, no. We have to go through very to many different layers. We have to go press the attack with what is the item actually called? I'm very sorry, I blanked out there.
Storm Raid?
Storm Razor, yeah. Storm Razor press the attack, then we go through Storm Razor and
Fleet
the
footwork.
Fleet Footwork, and Fleet Footwork and Muramana is the newest adaptation. And maybe we somehow, someday, finally get to Muramana with Press the Attack, the best build, actually.
I actually, as much as we are saying, I actually think there's a strong argument for Fleet Footwork just because of the lane.
Yeah, I have to agree. The lane is dangerous, and they can't really go for kills in the lane, so there's no real value in picking up the PTA for laning, because there's no way you can ever engage on Heimerdinger Lux in lane. So yeah, I have to agree. It's not as great for late game, because Fleet Footwork got nerfed a lot, and it's not that good in late game anymore. Yeah, it's still a
Yeah,
very good
that's very true.
lane
But still,
choice.
exactly. I do really want to see what this Heimerdinger pick is for, because so far it hasn't actually been that lane dominant.
No. It's really Heimerdinger is a little bit I think there's a little bit of a misconception. Heimerdinger is actually a very good mid and late game champion, and even though he gets push advantage in a lot of matchups, his turret scale with levels. So usually you'll only put one level into your turret, and it will be very squishy in the early game and not do too much damage either. You scale with AP and levels a lot on Heimerdinger. So that's why he needs a little bit of time. Usually, I think 2 items is where Heimerdinger really shines, and you will not win a team fight on Heimerdinger's terms when he hits 2 items, ever. It's almost impossible. He has so much damage output.
I mean that actually makes a lot of sense.
It's a very
Again,
slow game. What,
I'm showing my little bit of lack of knowledge about Heimerdinger. I haven't played him. So it
yeah.
is interesting.
If you think back to Season 8 Worlds, where obviously Hachanen went completely bonkers on the Heimerdinger and dominated every time he got the Heimerdinger, he was actually not winning lane that often. He was pretty much handshaking lanes and going even in CS and then dominating through rotations, and you can use the Heimerdinger as a permanent pressure point, which is what G2 played around at that tournament. Just put the Heimerdinger somewhere, and you can't ever approach the Heimerdinger lane with less than 2 members, which puts insane pressure on the enemy team. This is really the big strength of Heimerdinger. He's good team fight. He's a good team fighter. He's insanely good around Baron. One of the biggest strengths about Heimerdinger as well is the 2-man Baron possibilities, especially if one Mountain Drake comes in. Just commit ult and 3 turrets to Baron, and it's instantly gone. It's insane how fast he is. Yeah, no Mountain Drake.
I mean,
they have secured a Mountain Drake. I'm sorry. So this is looking very good already for GAM, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if they play to those strengths.
And so far, it has been a very slow game. Everyone is happily scaling up, and Pot has not hit his mark.
There's a bit of a fight here in the mid lane. Yado's getting jumped on. He's taking a lot of damage. That Lux Hole hit him as well, and Levi cleans him up. This is a real brawl. Like, everyone's here. Ron P is the current target, but he isn't Alistair with the ult running. The stun lands, and he does end up going down. I'm picking up that kill. That's 2 kills with 3 kills.
3
I tell a lie.
kills, yeah.
Picked up, no response.
That's the first really big win for GAM, and they used their brawling capabilities here. Used their very strong frontliners, Sejuani and the Renekton, just used their ultimates and their aftershocks and everything like that to frontline forever.
Well. He's gonna die.
Yeah, he's dead.
That was really well played by Slay.
Overall, I think GAM's rotation here was so perfectly done. The game was super quiet. No one did anything, and GAM used the first opportunity presented to them. Were very reactive and a little bit cautious there. But as soon as the opportunity presented itself, they immediately committed 5 members. Very good roam once again by Slay. Did you see his ult dealing insane amounts of damage for a support player as well? So, yeah, GAM now.
Crazy.
Up to a 3k gold lead from one play.
Where did this fight come from? Yeah, it was Levi with the ult.
How did that?
So strong. Yeah, this is really good. Pot a little bit over aggressive there. Going, I'm not sure they want to be going in. I feel like they wanted to retreat, but they called the counter attack and it went
Yeah.
really, really
And this is actually
poorly.
such a great team composition for support Lux, because she's uh,
Oh,
wow. Yeah, it's not looking great for servers. Support Lux in this team composition just stays behind, looks for ult and a little bit of damage. She gets her shield on everyone. All her bruisers get 300-400 extra HP they can work with and dive and look for plays. And she just stays behind and fires her skill shots, her ult, everything. So this Lux, even though it's a support Lux on low gold income, is still insanely valuable to GAM. And she can't really get dived here by anyone. There's the Heimerdinger blocking everything, a really fat Sejuani, as well as the big crocodile in front of her. So this is actually a support Lux carry composition. It sounds a bit
yeah.
weird, but yeah, Slay gets to contribute a lot of damage in this comp.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a strong front line. How do you? The thing is, though, is normally the answer to a strong front line like the Sejuani that is to dive past it. But how do you dive past it?
Yeah,
It's a
it's, it's
Heimerdinger.
it's just not possible there. It's so much control. They control everything about the fights. You can't really dive past the Renekton anyway. And there's Yoshino as well. If you dive too far for Gam, Yoshino can just pull the ult on you, and you can't get any farther. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
Heimerdinger greets you with 3 turrets plus a potential ult turret and stuns. Yeah, this is this is not looking great for the servers. It's not a fun game to play. Even if they win this game, they will be very exhausted.
yeah. This one requires if they do manage to win this, it's going to be hard to mentally reset. But currently, they're a long way from winning it. They're
Yeah.
actually quite far down. 3.5k gold down. YT goes for a play up in the top lane, but if Camille's ever in a situation that she doesn't like, she just leaves.
Yep.
She's just gone.
I think the Camille priority is only so high for Gam, right? Yoshino is a really good Camille player, and they like to have her in the top lane. Camille
Yeah.
is one of those champs that's also very hard to assess. It's an okay team fighter. It's a very good split pusher. If she gets ahead, she's actually not great from behind as a split pusher, because she can never actually get to the turrets in the 1v1 matchup. She's not the strongest duelist. She's not like a Fiora that will auto win all the 1v1s later on, even if she's behind. That's not the case with Camille. Camille's a jack of all trades, master of none, I would say. Maybe the master of actually turret pushing, because her turret damage is insane. Everything else she's just very good at. She's not great, she's good.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment of the champion. I think the one thing that the one other thing is her ability to get onto people and to stick to people
Yep,
is pretty ridiculous.
it's really good. Yeah.
Like hookshot just has such a long range. Then she has her slow from her W.
I
It's
think
a
Camille
lot.
is one of the champs that's really well balanced. She has very clear power windows, she's very clear weaknesses, and people who are good on her are very good on her, even competitive. People who can't really play her cannot play her anywhere. So I think she's a very well balanced champ and gets
Okay.
after the last attack speed buff, she's back into the meta, and I like to see her a lot. I think she opens up so many possibilities, especially 1-3-1 compositions. Camille, yeah, one of my favorite champs to watch, especially in the top lane there.
Yeah,
The,
absolutely. I 100% agree.
yeah,
She's a bit of a delight to watch. Something that I do want to touch on is what does this Renekton do going forward?
yeah, he looks for a lot of 2 item power. I think he wants to go for Spear of Shojin, so the highest damage while still being a little bit tanky. So this is a full mid-game commit for the Renekton. He will fall off heavily with this item build in team fights. But looking at GAM's team composition, I think it's okay for them to kind of use one champ as a pure bridge to the late game, because everyone else is scaling very, very hard. So this Renekton is just there to soak damage in the later stages of the game, and now he's still very dangerous, especially for Isilov.
Yeah, I mean, this is potential for a pretty big push here. Uh, Pot was down bot helping Yato establish himself in the side lanes. He's actually quite far away. This is a lot of damage onto this inner tower, and it goes down. This is traded for absolutely nothing. YT gets Sejuani altered up. He can't go forward on this Aatrox, and this is just going to be a disengage from Gum.
Yeah, Whitey's ult is not available anymore as well. Wow, what is this TP about? Not sure about the
do they
TP.
want to? I think this means they want to turn and potentially make a play for Baron. Otherwise, why would you TP?
I think they were scared of the full commit by Cerberus, but now they've kind of given up bot lane control. They will probably still get the turret with Kiaya. But I don't like the TP. I think it was a bit preemptive, a bit of an overreaction there. And the turret take was insanely over-aggressive from Gum, but they get away with it because they are ahead quite a bit, and their Rift Herald tanked for a lot of time. That was the potential for a big comeback for Cerberus. Cerberus cannot capitalize on the slight misplay there from Gum. And so the lead is even bigger now, 4-0 in turrets. Still looking at a perfect game here.
3 turrets picked up in 1 passage play.
Yeah, really good.
Do you know how many tunnels there are? Rek'Sai, that's really bad for the Rift. Like, really destabilizing all the top sort.
Yeah, you can see it with Cerberus' gameplay. The tunnels seem to not help at all.
Yeah, they're just falling into little ditches constantly. That's the problem. They're tripping over.
Probably, yeah.
Sub out Pot. He's making his team trip.
Please don't sub out Pot. Please don't.
can't even joke about it.
No, it's very dangerous to joke about this. I think they'll just sub out Pot anyway after this game.
Yeah.
This is not a great spot to fight against the Heimerdinger. Please don't. No.
Don't go in corridors against this team comp.
Oh my god.
YT actually could get a reset here. He plays this really well.
Oh no, you! Oh my.
That was,
yeah, flash W, and then you want to log out. Oh my god.
Oof.
Yeah, there's nothing Cerberus can do anymore. Their team composition is not tanky enough to deal with the front line.
Oh, here comes Yoshino.
Bam.
Yoshino this series is hitting Cerberus with the Benchy with his saddle.
Absolutely. Yeah, Shinya.
You're going to put me on the bench? Don't think so.
Yeah, Shinya has been so great.
Yeah, he's
and now look at Heimerdinger Baron speed.
This is ridiculous. That thing is melting.
Yeah, and he has not even used his ult turret. Usually you can use the ult turret as well, because your ult is only sitting on a 40-second cooldown.
Wanted to trade for the Infernal, but Yoshino
Yikes.
Doesn't stop.
Oh, Yoshino has really impressed me the 2 games today. The second game is even better. He's looking for a lot of plays, using a lot of the Fog of War advantages his team has gained. Now Baron and Infernal Drake will go over to GAM as well. 10-0. Almost 10k gold lead, 3-0. Yeah, it's a perfect game still for GAM of all teams. That's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
think about.
Didn't think we'd be saying that.
No, last week they were such a mess in the mid game, and now they are perfect gaming Cerberus. To be fair, it's only Cerberus, but it's a huge step up.
Perfect gaming.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
And this will be the second perfect game against Cerberus in this season already. That's man.
What was Ron doing?
Yeah, Ron.
He was just standing around for so long before they pulled the trigger.
Hugh is not even committing a whole lot. Yeah, Hugh did not play this fight well. This was such a free fight for the Heimerdinger, and he did not hit anything there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this could have been better.
Everything.
He used Ult E, by the way, and this is the best. If you want to play Heimerdinger at home, always use Ult E in team fights. It's such a great thing. Never use Ult W, by the way. It's a trap.
It's so cool, though.
It's a trap. Don't. I mean, there are very certain windows when you can use Ult W, obviously. If everyone is aligning and you're sure you will hit more than one wave of the rockets, go ahead, use Ult W. But yeah, Ult E is a lot of control. You use Ult Q, so the big turret, if everyone is diving on top of you and you build Zhonya's, that's and exhaust, that's when you use the ult turret. But usually you want to follow up on your front line, so you just send a big rocket bouncing through everyone. And everyone in the enemy team will be either slowed or stunned. It's such a big teamfight ult.
Yeah, it really. Heimerdinger, like, he doesn't see much play. He's a bit of a meme champion in a lot of ways, but he does actually have some very good spells. Like,
yeah,
some of what he does is super strong. It's just that
He's one of
sitting
the
the turret.
champs that changes the game a lot if he's played, because both teams have to play around what he does. I love to see
Yep.
those champs from time to time. It's not too interesting to see them all the time, like Sonar. Oh no, Slay!
Slay's a little bit caught here. He might get away. No, he doesn't in the
No,
end. Tries
Slay!
down, loses the perfect game. Reports Slay feeding. What an absolute scrub.
Oh,
But
that's so sad. He had such a great
despite that,
series. My God, the rest of the team fight was just a slaughterhouse.
yeah, like congratulations, you got a kill on Slay, but
15 to
Gum has
1
come
in
and
26 minutes. This
what
has not been close, and Gum looks like a way better team today.
what a destruction.
Yeah, Cerberus
Gum,
is still sitting at 0 game wins even, and looking ahead, it's not looking too bright for them. Maybe they can get a game off of FTV or maybe QTV if they get going in one of the games, but looking like the weakest team at GAM, much stronger showing today, probably rising up in a lot of tier lists. What do you think? Is GAM now sitting at 5th place, or?
I definitely think they looked a lot better today. Don't really want to. I don't think you can start adjusting tier lists for beating Cerberus. Like, congratulations, you kicked a dead dog.
That's very true, yeah.
They did look so much better. They looked like they knew what they were doing in the mid game. It's just going to be a question now. Can you execute on that plan against a team that's actually going to try and stop you?
Yeah, and can you ban out Hugh in the bot lane? Was this just a one-off strategy for this series? Or is he actually a serious contender for the bot lane spot? Can he actually play more than 2 champs?
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of bot lane mages. If you, I mean, if the Heimerdinger suddenly starts getting banned out alongside Nico, you play Victor, play a lot of things bot lane that are mages.
Victor is a lot more risky though. Heimerdinger and Nico have the great advantage that they can't really get killed in the bot lane. Nico will just dominate the lane all the time. Heimerdinger is very hard to gank or 2v2 kill because of his turrets and his defensive setup. Victor is, I love Victor as well, and Victor is a great champ and scales insanely well into the late game, but he's easy to kill in the bot lane, especially with things like Gragas or J4. So yeah, maybe he gets to play a little more in the bottom lane. I think Minus looked okay last week. It's not like he looked absolutely horrible as an ADC.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that they're going for this setup with Hugh. It might have been something they wanted to test against Cerberus.
Yeah,
Because they know that
worked
weaker
out.
opponent, and maybe they'll play a little bit more standard with an AD against better teams, which I don't think is a terrible decision. But it's something you can threaten, right? Like
Yeah.
now, when you're preparing to play against Gum, you have to actually think about it.
And we have to also look at Slay's performance because it was so much better today compared to last week. Slay 2 games on the Lux and 2 games in a row, absolutely dominating on the Lux support. So well, another very good game for Slay, and he seems to have one of the best meta reads for all the support players in the VCS. There are some players who like to play the Lux, but it's not as commonly seen as in other regions. I think the meta read from GAM and from DBL so far look like the best. All the other teams still have a little bit of a weird approach to the 9.12 meta, especially teams like Team Flash, who absolutely love their Kai'Sa first pick for a godforsaken reason no one knows.
I mean, like sometimes they look super good on it, but I do think we need to start seeing a bit more better meta reads.
Yeah. So, who's your MVP for this game? It's very hard, I think, to decide in the second game. Yeah, Yoshini. Yoshini was my pick as well. I think honorable mention to almost all the other players. The only one, once again, who did not have the greatest of games was Kiaya there in the mid lane. He just was a little bit of a pressure point for his team. Other than that, Slay, once again, very good looks performance. The Heimerdinger looked okay. His team fighting was a little bit meh, but he only got to show it once. Laning was okay for him. Don't think Heimerdinger had an MVP-worthy performance. Yoshino with many great flanks there.
Yeah, I think Yoshino definitely looked the best for me. I hope he's the starting top laner now. He looks great.
Yeah, I wanted
Look,
to touch on his position into the in the team earlier on, and then the fight started happening. But think about what Yoshino actually has to deal with here. He's in his team. He's looking great, and he knows there's a player behind him on the bench who is just waiting to be eligible to play. Who's the best top laner in the region? Who has dominated the whole region for 1 year straight? That's
yeah,
such a bad spot to be in for Yoshino. I think he just needs to take this opportunity and make a show out of it. Try to impress other teams and maybe land a starting spot the next year. He's still a very young player, and so far he has impressed certainly.
absolutely. It's very impressive. We have to see what happens in the long run. Maybe suddenly Zeros gets unmanned. Maybe you don't have a spot, mate. Yoshino's new in town.
Yeah, especially looking at Zeros' MSI performance, it was not looking too hot. It's against better top laners, obviously, but a lot of the team actually was carried by the bot lane at MSI. So if Yoshino is still showing performances like these, maybe Zeros
Yeah,
actually has to compete for a spot there.
I mean that can only be a good thing for
Yeah,
competing for your spot pushes you to play better. I think 10-man rosters are the way of the future because it means that people have to fight for their spot. You don't get lax, which is good.
yeah,
Gotta keep-
I have to agree there. By the way, looking ahead for tomorrow's games, we are looking at a very intriguing series for tomorrow. The two 2-1 teams, EVOS and Flash, coming from different trajectories. EVOS winning their game this week, and Flash sadly losing to Dashing Buffalo yesterday. Clash for second place contention, you could say. With
Yeah,
EVOS and Flash tomorrow is the first series. What do you think about those two top teams clashing?
I mean I think Flash is a better team.
Yeah,
I think Flash is pretty clearly the second best team in the league behind the
Dashing.
Buffalo,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're like miles behind the Buffalo.
No, it was a very
I,
close series.
yeah,
Yeah, I would agree as well. I kind of expected a 2-0 for Flash, but EVOS
yeah,
didn't look bad. Okay, they didn't look too clean, but at least they won their series. They lost a game yesterday, which did not look today. No, they played today. I'm sorry. They didn't
like,
lose a game today against QG. I was confusing them with Loki. Loki didn't look good yesterday, but today EVOS actually looked like a pretty strong team, so they might contest against Flash for 1 or 2 games.
yeah. Okay, I think it's possible. Um, we'll have to see how it goes. Yes, it's a difficult one to look at. Again, we're making calls based off not too many games, which is always difficult this early in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, but we see a little bit of the standings forming there, as you can see right now on screen. Loki still plus 5 points. The best teams in terms of standing, but they've only played bottom tier teams. So their first real test will be in 2 days from now when they play the Dashing Buffaloes.
Loki also has an extra series.
Yeah, they have played 3. No, everyone has played 3 series now. But they have lost only one game. Where Dashing Buffalo has lost 2 games.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're
They're
right.
one game ahead of Dashing Buffaloes. Dashing Buffaloes
Yep.
can win against them on Sunday and assert the dominance and go for first place before Rift Rivals hits. So yeah, that's a good opportunity for Dashing
Yeah.
Buffaloes.
Yeah, it's true, and also I think going into Rift Rivals, I want to see Buffalo especially playing really really well because I want them to. It's important to go into international competition hot.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably don't have too much to say against LCK and LPL teams. There's obviously still a huge skill gap, but going in hot, you go into all the scrims you'll play against other teams.
Yeah, you
and the
can learn a
games
lot.
You can learn so much, but it helps that you've come out of a decent week or so in your home region.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, and I think that'll be it. Thank you all for joining. You can follow us on Twitter for everyday. Just search for Everyday Cast on Twitter or for Yulwei. And yeah, you can follow us there. And we'll be back tomorrow with the first series of EVOS vs. Flash at the usual time. Thanks a lot for joining us. Thank you, Everyday. Have a good day.
Same to you, man. Good night, everyone.